Hello everyone, this is Arif. In our today's video, we will talk about what is better for us to embark on a journey of a job or a business or freelancing services. So let's explore what is the difference between a job and a freelancing, or what are the key factors that need to be taken into account. The first thing in terms of accepting whether you should go for a job or a business is the risk element. Generally, in the job, the risk is moderate to low because there is a certainty that if you perform a little bit even above average, people will not generally fire you from your job. So you get a fixed salary at the month end, and at times there is a opportunity to get a promotion, and sometimes you get bonuses, and there is a gradual but steady progress in your job because the risk is moderate. Whereas at the same time, the same company in which you are working, the owner take all the benefits because whatever energy you put in, whatever the efforts, the skills, the techniques, eventually the beneficiary is the shareholder or the owner of the company. Because why? Because they take all the risk as well. So if the company go into losses, you will still be getting your job unless until you are being fired. So it's a negative correlation to the risk and return. So if the risk is high, any return is expected to be high, but in case of a loss, you might go into adverse scenario as well. So in job, generally there is low, medium to low risk, whereas in businesses it's a high risk. The second point is you have to consider that flexibility and time constraint. Time constraint, what I meant in job, generally you have to follow a strict timeline for either your submissions or even for at your working hours. Though this concept is getting a little bit blur, but still in generally, if you see in the industry, you have to work from 9 to 5 or 9 to 6, at times even late nights, and you do not have much flexibility in terms of taking offs. You have to notify, you have to take permissions even for your annual leave, for your family emergencies and all. Whereas in business, you have that kind of flexibility because you are the ultimate beneficiary of the risk and the reward. So you have that kind of flexibility either to work in the morning, work in the night, take a day off, take a 5 days off. But this is all theoretical. Generally, if you ask me, I have seen the business owners, they work even more than the employees because again they have higher motivation because the risk and reward both belongs to them. So that's one of the reason. So it depends. If you want more predictability in terms of time management, then job is something you can consider. But if you want that liberty, that where you can be your own and you can plan out your things by your own without being accountable other than your clients and customers, then you can go for a business. In terms of money, since in jobs the risk is moderate to low, so you get a fixed salary and with a little bit incremental sometimes bonuses and pay raise. Whereas in business, either you get huge losses or huge profits. So there is no limit to that. In terms of decision making, in businesses, the decision which you are asked to take is within the limits. So you will not be ultimately be taking all kind of decisions. It depends on you specifically to your role. Again, within your role, it depends on your seniority level. So it's a very small area to play. So the decision making is very predictable, and accordingly the responsibilities are defined. Whereas in businesses, you cannot delegate your decision making or responsibility. Even if you delegate to someone, still the eventual the outcome of the decision will directly have an impact on you. So that one thing you have to take into account. In terms of learning, generally in your profession, you either specialize in one area or if you are lucky enough to be working like me as an auditor, then you have a wide array of areas where you can go and audit different kind of companies, different jurisdiction, and you learn about so many companies, and the learning curve is very at a high and rapid speed. But that's all depend on your what kind of job you are in and what is your role and responsibilities. Whereas in businesses, you might not be having a very close look at the market in terms of your competitors insider information, because you will be more focusing on your businesses. Yes, you will be looking at their moves, but generally you will not have that kind of liberty to see different businesses, to see different processes, cultures and all, unless until your business grow to a level where it become multinational company. Apart from that, in terms of growth in business, in professions, you have a more systematic growth. Sometimes it depends on your efforts, sometimes it doesn't. It depends on how good you or how lucky you are, or what kind of relationship you have with your line manager. Is the organization is profitable or not, in the regions where you are working is doing well or not. There are a lot of factors, and people generally state that it's only about hard work. Hard work is the most important thing, but over and above there are a lot of factors for growth. Whereas in the businesses, again, the market factors, the client, the location is the same. Everything depends, it's more or less the same, that there are a lot of factors for your success and failure. In terms of retirement, in businesses, you have a steady income unless until you are being fired or terminated or the market is down. As we can see, the jobs are getting shrinking, so your retirement, unless until you plan very systematically your career and you're lucky enough that there isn't too many gaps, you still can reasonably well off retire at your 60s with a job. However, the possibility is shrinking day by day because of automation, because of disruption, and so these factors you have to need to put into account. Whereas in the businesses, either you get bankrupt or you get super duper rich. So again, in businesses you learn from your mistakes, so you can always use those skills in different sectors and different ideas. But generally, if you start a business in a very young age, there is high possibility for your learning curve to be fulfilled at the age of 30, and then you take a very cautious and very calculative risk, and in that case you end up very well. Jobs generally you cannot pass on to your next generation. However, in businesses you can pass on to your next generation, and you have a bigger role to play in the society. So if you ask me which avenue is good or bad, I would say it depends on a person, his personality, background, and what aspiration they have in life. They wanted to have a steady, moderate to lower risk kind of life. He's looking forward for himself and his family, and he's more into maybe other things which he wants to achieve in life outside the career. So then a job is good. Whereas if a person is having very ambitious and he wants to test certain ideas, he wants to have a greater impact in society, in the world, and he wants to leave a big legacy behind, then I would definitely encourage those people to start a business. Start early, take small steps, and learn on the way. So with this I will conclude. Thank you for watching and hope to see you in the next video.